Okay, wait. Hold on. We're gonna start. Oh, wait. Um, Okay, so wait, let's see. All right. So, before we begin, we just like to let everyone know that this is being recorded and anything that you say can be for at a later date. All right. So,
Hi, it's December 2nd, Community Board 13, the Environment Sanitation and joint with EDC, Economic Development
Committee.
Committee. I'm sorry, not EDC. Who's fit? Hang on. My name is Mark Murnick. I'm chair. My vice chair seems not to be here, and the
She's on. She's on the. Oh no,
he
he's not
and
here.
the chair of environment, the chair of economic development also seems not to be here. So we're gonna, I'm not clear, we're gonna introduce everybody,
No,
but we have a presentation today from Marissa. Make her a
Yep.
co-host so she can.
Yes, Maritza, are you there?
Hi, good evening, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, we can hear
Okay,
you.
I'll
We
show my
can't see
face
you,
for a quick
but
second.
you.
I'm just gonna
You have a
share. Is it cool if I
presentation?
share my screen?
Yeah, he's
Yes,
giving you
I
permission.
gave you permission. Did you see it?
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna do it in 1 second. I'm just gonna stop my face from showing because
Yes.
sometimes we lag.
Sure.
So, sorry. Okay, 1 second. Yeah, I want that one. Stay with me.
You got
Stay with me.
here.
Do you see a presentation somewhat?
Yes.
Starting to, yes.
Hold on 1 second.
Yeah,
Okay.
but print it.
Can you fully see the presentation, or are you also seeing yourselves?
We see ourselves too, but you gotta put your picture to the side. That's it. Yeah, you
Does
don't
that
have to worry
work?
about us. Yep.
Okay, I'm afraid to close out and then I'll lose you completely. Okay,
No, that's
so
good.
tonight, my name is Marissa Yanni. I'm from the Public Affairs Office of the Department of Sanitation, here to talk about commercial waste zones. And then after commercial waste zones, I'm happy to answer any other questions that you all have. Is that okay?
Yep, that's
great.
good.
Okay, great. Just want to be sure. I want to ask, make sure we're all on the same page. Okay, so commercial waste zone, we're rolling out phase 3, which includes Brooklyn South, which will include all of Community Board 13. So this will affect your whole board. And nope, did we go down? 1 second. Aha, okay, sorry. So the scale of NYC's commercial waste system, just to let you kind of think about it, over 250,000 businesses generate over 9,000 tons of waste. It's about 2.5 Empire State Buildings, for those that were curious how much that seems like. So previously, this was completely unstructured. We just had carters operating in all the different community boards, right, all over the city, wherever they wanted. Oops. Yeah, wherever they wanted. So this new law, Local Law 199, is going to divide the city into 20 zones. So it's kind of a brand new district that we all have to think about. Private carters bid, they already did this process, to service these specific zones. And each zone will have 3 carters who are going to provide high quality, low cost curbside service. We also have a couple of citywide folks that are going to be servicing any business that has 10 or more cubic yards of waste. So that's going to be one of the really, really big businesses. So a couple of benefits of commercial waste zone in general. So competitive bidding, we're going to keep costs low. We're going to have transparent pricing and discounted rates for recycling and organics, which should be really helpful to restaurants. Stricter customer service standards, increased training and safety standards, and greater operational efficiency. This also is going to create less commercial traffic, safer and quieter streets, improved air quality, and higher recycling and organic rates amongst our businesses. So this is a citywide rollout. We're doing 10 phases, who will be completed by 2027. If you go on our website, nyc.gov/CWZ, sorry, I'm all tongue-tied tonight. So you are part of phase 3, Brooklyn South with Queens Northeast. And customers, which are the businesses, must sign up starting January 1st, 2026. It's going to be fully implemented by the end of February. So they have 2 months, and I'm going to get into really everything that they have to do. This is just to give you an idea of the map of these 20 commercial waste zones. As you see, some are easier. Staten Island is really easy because that's just one. You all are down here, Brooklyn South. You with 13, 15, and 14. So you're all going to be in this one zone. And you see you're next to Brooklyn East and Brooklyn Southwest. Yada, yada, yada. You can see where you fall, on this map. And again, this is all on our website. So all of this is public for you to know. So important dates for Brooklyn South and Queens Northeast. I know you don't care about them, but going to say it anyway. So implementation period from January 1st, of course, 2026, to February 28th. This is when carters and businesses must sign contracts and they must negotiate. So if a business doesn't have a signed contract, that will be effective March 1st. We, DSMY, will assign them a carter at the maximum rate and minimum frequency. So it's really important that all these businesses reach out to their carters, and we are doing that outreach. So I wanted to ask about another presentation. We are doing that. Part of my team's work is actually just reaching out to community boards and elected officials that are in these districts just to let you know what's going on. But we have a whole Bureau of Commercial Waste that is actually corresponding with the actual businesses. So don't worry, I'm not just telling you then walking away from this. DSMY is doing way more outreach than just like a presentation with you all. So how to comply, there's 5 easy steps. Number 1, evaluate. Obviously, every single business should figure out what kind of collection they need, their pickup frequency, what trash they actually have. Identify, so figure out what zone you're in. Of course, we all know we're in Brooklyn South. So the 3 carters that are going to operate in Brooklyn South is Action, Cogent, I think that's how they say that, and Metropolitan. And then, of course, we have our citywide groups. That's Action, Philco, Recycle Track System, Waste Connections, and Borough-wide. That's only for businesses with 10 or more cubic yards. So if we only think about our smaller mom and pop shops, so in Brooklyn South, that's just Action, Cogent, Metropolitan. And then obviously compare this, again, all on our website. You can use our calculator to figure out what should be the maximum price, what really they need. So finding out the zone, selecting the services, selecting the service type, and viewing maximum rates. So all this is available for businesses as a tool that they can use when it's time to negotiate. Because now it's time to negotiate! Exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point. So it's great to get multiple quotes from the 3 carters in the zone to get the best service and rates. And again, there's going to be discounts on organics and recycling. We definitely are pushing for businesses to negotiate and talk to their 3 carters and see what service will best meet their needs. That is something we're very passionate about. We want to make sure everyone gets the correct service that they need. And then sign. Want to make sure that they sign by the end of February, because starting March 1st, they need to have a brand new contract for their private carding, and they'll be ready to go for the new zone. Like I just said, evaluate, identify, compare, negotiate, and sign. I didn't make the presentation. I would not have done this second slide. So how to comply, when you're officially enrolled in your commercial waste zone, your carter will give you a green carter decal. At the moment, everyone has an orange sticker for their private carter. You're going to get a green one. You must display it, as every business does know, in the window so that it's visible from the sidewalk. There's a couple of exceptions to this rule, and if you all think of any, I can definitely check in with my team if a group that you're thinking of might be exempt from this. Excuse me. There's really only a few that are gonna really qualify for this: city managed properties and nonprofits, as you can see there, and professional offices and residential buildings. If they currently receive DSMY service, then obviously this wouldn't apply to them. But if they think they should be receiving DSMY service, or let's say they're a new nonprofit organization or just a new professional working in an office, this could apply to them. But if we have anyone that thinks that could be them, they can go on our website for this, or Eddie has my contact information. If you know of any group or you yourself are a business owner and you're not sure where you fall in this, do let me know. Eddie can give you my email. I can also put in the chat, but that way you have we can help get you that information. Of course, containerization and set out, this applies to all businesses. Garbage and organics must be in a bin with a lid, set out after 1 p.m. or an hour before closing, depending on the business. No black bags on the curb. Recycling is going to be put out up to an hour before closing if it's in a bin, or after 8 p.m. if using clear bags. Cardboard and newspapers can be bundled and baled, all that we have spoken about in the past. Of course, we have a lot of resources. If you know any business that you think needs extra love, we're currently still doing some outreach in the Bronx, but then we will be switching over to Brooklyn South and Queens Northeast. So we may not have people on the ground right now, but they will be starting in January. We're going to be doing all sorts of different events. We have info sessions on our website as well that folks can engage in and can look at. Like I said, materials, which we have on our website. And then any questions. So I'm going to stop sharing just so I can see you all again. But if there's something we need to pop back up, we will. Okay. Whoop. And where'd you go?
Okay, I'll hold on my question. Go ahead.
Good evening, Selena. This is relative. I'm just trying to see if I can understand what we're doing here. Basically, at this point, do the private businesses already have a system in place that they're getting their garbage picked up?
Yeah, every single business in New York City should already have a private carter collecting all their garbage. So if they're currently not utilizing or using one of those three that I just mentioned, Action, Cogent, or Metropolitan, they will have to sign a new my video stopped, sorry. They will have to sign a new contract. Oh my goodness, I couldn't get the word out. A new contract.
So if they already have someone that they're using and it's effective, you're basically saying now that we're rezoning this, these are the only three that they can use.
Yeah, correct.
Sounds like a cartel.
But, will it, because I don't, again, this is new to me, so how did you determine, how was it determined? Were there inputs from the businesses in our area in particular, since we're talking to us? How do you determine that this is going to be more cost effective to them, as well as work with the sanitation department?
So
Yeah.
that happened with the Bureau of Commercial Waste. They had their contracts division, and there was an open bid. So I'm not going to say they specifically reached out to private carters that specifically already were working in your district, but these are the private carters that through the RFP process, they submitted their bid. They were approved. They proved that they showed good rates. They agree they're going to do everything that we say about their standards, about the pricing, and they received that contract.
Okay, so basically, this is going to be in effect regardless to if it had been discussed with any of the businesses to see how it would affect them directly, indirectly. And you don't know basically if the cost is going to be more than what they normally would have paid based on their previous contract. And it seems like this is like one of those things where they're just being forced to do.
Exactly.
So I'm just throwing that out there. Thank you very much.
Thank
I
you.
guess, I'm
Maybe I
sorry.
get better.
Yeah,
understanding.
just
Rob?
to piggyback off of what she just mentioned though, so what did you guys see as the benefit to the businesses in doing this?
Definitely more transparent pricing. And also, hold on one second so I can take out my talking points.
Who determined that?
The city?
She doesn't do nothing, she just say it.
Robin is
Somebody-
speaking. Let her answer the question, then I'll recognize you and you're
Were you-
happy to ask your question.
1 second, I'm just getting your answer. I know there's a lot of chatter. I'm not in the room,
Thank
so
you.
sorry.
Trust me, she has no answer.
1 second.
That's why she doesn't do that.
This is also going to reduce truck traffic considerably throughout the city because you're only going to have 3. It's going to provide fair, transparent pricing with low prices for businesses,
Who determined that?
strengthen customer service standards, and establish accountability, improve training and safety standards to make the industry safer for workers and the public, improve industry labor standards and
she might
uphold
be
worker
frozen.
rights,
No,
prioritize investments in clean, modern fleets and facilities that make up a reliable, resilient, and sustainable waste management system.
Okay,
I think
thank
she
you.
was frozen for the half of her answer.
Yeah, can you
Can you
repeat
repeat that again?
I'm sorry.
your signal froze for a bit.
Yeah.
Can you repeat?
The paragraph that you just read.
You just read a paragraph from something.
Oh, I'm
You
so
were frozen.
sorry. So there's going to be environmental health and pricing benefits, customer service, health and safety, labor and worker rights, infrastructure and waste management, and robust competitive industry.
I think.
Okay.
A
Did
question.
did you have a
Yes.
question?
I have a question. Page 2. bottom,
The fourth slide.
bottom slide, yeah, the fourth slide, fourth paragraph. Each zone have up to 3 corridors. Who's gonna determine that? And how you determine which is a high quality and low cost? How you gonna do that?
So we already determined who those carters are. That happened a year ago, I guess you could say. That happened a while ago. We already had the RFP process. We already determined of all 20 zones what the 3 carters are in each of those zones. We're just rolling it out kind of 2 or 3 zones at a time. So that's all been determined already. And that's all been through city contracts and the contract division for the Department of Sanitation.
But why you guys determine, not the businesses? Because we're gonna be paying for the services and we have to determine that, not you guys, because you're basically robbing us right now as a businessman.
So that was passed through the city council, local law 199. Because it is city law, we have to put this law into action. So we're just
So you're
following all the
saying the
steps
city
within the
can,
law.
so it's, the city can impose the law without even consulting with the businesses?
Sure.
Yeah.
They do.
Okay.
So who's overseeing, my name's Thomas, who's overseeing these 3 Carters and whether
Yes.
their
She's-
practices are
Is there a hand up?
satisfactory to the businesses, not only in our district, but across the city? As a former, I once had a storefront also, and just on my block alone, I could sympathize with the need to reduce Carters because on my business block alone, which was half residential and half business, we had 4 different Carters, and they all show up different hours, and people up.
Yeah.
So I could understand the need for this, but who's gonna oversee this to make sure that these Carters are satisfactory to the customers? And that the pricing is satisfactory to the businesses? Is there gonna be follow-up with businesses that they can give input? Is there a line that they could call or a person responsible within the city to ensure that these practices are in good faith and doing well? Who's going to follow up with these businesses?
The Department of Sanitation, we're here to support all the businesses, especially during this transition period. I do not have a phone number at the moment. I will have to check in with my Bureau of Commercial Waste. They're the ones that are reaching out to each and every single business that is within yours, well, in every zone, right? But when it comes to your zone, I'm assuming that's going to start in January. I don't have their outreach plan in front of me because I know they're still working with the Bronx, but let's say starting January 2nd, January 1st, normal holiday, January 2nd, they'll start reaching out to everyone in Brooklyn South.
Follow-up question. Who came up with an idea that 2 months is enough for a business to make this decision for it to be implemented so quickly, a big change like this? Like, again, you know, I only came into my business, like some businesses, we don't operate every day. I own the DJ business. We came in when we needed to. So if I got a letter in the mail from, you know, from something that I probably would never open, you know, who's following up with me to ensure that I, you know, comply with this new law within the time frame?
Us, Department of Sanitation, we'll be doing that. The Bureau of Commercial Waste. We have a whole team of outreach workers that we hired, as well as the day-to-day outreach workers. I think it's just because we didn't get to your zone yet. They're still finishing up in the Bronx. But yes, that the goal is to call each and every business. A mailer is going out. Then they're going to come knocking on the door. For everybody, every business.
Another question. Slide number 8. What is the reason for, you see the yellow tab for the signed contract at the maximum rate and the minimum frequency? Why don't you do a minimum rate and a minimum frequency?
I didn't make
That
up that
would
rule, but I think it's just to get the point across. If you don't take the time within your 2-month, you know, kind of time period to actually sign your new contract, then we're going to give one to you at a not so great rate, not so great frequency. Then it's up to you, the business, to fix that, to reach back out, negotiate, and fix your contract.
But I bet you guys gonna see a lot of lawsuits and you're gonna be just drowned with the going to the court. I mean, it's not my business right now, but I'm seeing that's gonna be happening because every business, once they're gonna get the signed maximum rate, we're gonna file the lawsuits against the Department of Sanitation. And, I mean.
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
So how has it worked in other community? Because you mentioned that we're one of the last ones. How are the other communities?
You're one of the first ones.
We're
You're
one of the first ones?
We
Oh,
barely started. You're only
we're
here
the guinea
phase
pig.
3. I don't have many. I
When
don't
you
have
said
any
phase 3,
anecdotes
I
at the
thought we were
moment.
last.
Everyone literally just started. Everyone's had like
We're
Queens
guinea pig.
Central, I
Yeah,
think only
yeah.
had it for a few months
have
or a
a
year. And no, okay,
No.
they're a little more than they're almost a
Okay.
year. And then the Bronx barely started. So I don't have any success stories as of yet, or any stories really. Success, good or bad. I don't have any stories yet. But no, we just started. This is still, we have so many more to go. 17 more to go.
If I may, just maybe a statement or question, but it seems like this, if we are just starting and we're just getting this information, it's a short time span. Because I don't know, again, if you didn't reach out to the businesses yet, that means that sometime this month they'll be notified, this is what's going to happen and this is what you need to do. The next thing is, some of them probably are not even using the 3 that y'all have recommended. So now, are we gonna be, and not we, but you know how it used to be on the highways where you would have a car broke down, you would have different pickups coming and what have you. So now I know you have a different zone. We have those 3 people, sorry. You have those 3 companies. How does that affect the companies that were already in existence to those communities or to those particular businesses? What happens then? Because it seems like to me, what you're coming, and not you, but this has been done, like you said, through city council, a short time span to come and introduce this, and then say, if you don't do it within this time frame, you're gonna be penalized. But meanwhile, maybe they don't even really know these companies yet to even say, let me talk to them, give me the opportunity to even say, let me break my contract with the previous company that they may be dealing with.
They do have 2 months. They have 2 full months to negotiate with their probably new Carter, right? Let's assume this business we're talking about, this fake business, that they are going to have to change. They're not already in contract with those 3 that I mentioned. Then yes, they will have to
Right.
break that contract.
maybe
They
they're
will have to
already in
negotiate a
contract with
brand new
someone else.
contract.
That
I'm sorry, I think I
they
missed
break
the
the
comment.
contract and maybe they signed it 3 months ago and didn't realize that this is going to take place now, which means they
Yeah.
may have to break the contract and be penalized for that. I'm just asking a time frame.
Marissa, you froze again.
Oh, you think?
Oh, there you are. You're back.
I didn't say anything. I was listening.
Okay.
Yeah, they have no leg to stand on. They accept the contract, they can't.
They can't serve it.
Oh,
It is a new.
any other? Because I have a couple of questions.
Okay.
Okay, and one of them is in on that thing. So if a company had signed a year contract, not with Action or My Neighborhood, what happens? You somehow indemnify them from the contract as a business that they signed?
Nope,
Because
they have to break
whoever
that
they
contract
signed,
and sign a new one.
I'm sorry?
I'm so sorry. They have to break that contract and sign a new one with
Oh,
the 3
they have
approved
to break
parties.
it.
Yeah.
And their Carter, who's not one of those 3, said, not a problem, you just still owe me the money. It's the same as a commercial lease. You leave, you still owe the money for the property. You have to go find somebody else to pay you, to pay whichever to satisfy the lease. So the business has they're screwed. They're screwed. Okay, just checking.
I said from the beginning, it's a cartel.
I don't know about a cartel.
It is.
3. There's 3 right now.
No.
No. He's talking about,
Oh,
So,
yeah.
yes, but if they have a contract and that business still wants to get paid after March 1st,
which
and
They
which
can
is the X 24.
they got a year contract to get a good rate.
Hey, how does this affect the business? Does the business is business on the hook with this other Carter or not? Or is the city going to step in and say, hey, you're out of luck to the other Carter?
1 second.
While you're looking though, the other question is, are the ones that didn't qualify for the RFP, can they still service businesses in these zones? They can't, right? So they're
Nope.
not authorized anymore.
Nope.
That's a bunch of people that didn't qualify for the RFP.
Yeah, it's gonna be all on the businesses, I believe. One second. For the first time, you must provide a certain-
This is a mess. This is the beginning of something bad.
Mm.
company was bad anyway.
Oh, yeah.
Well, but that's our choice to pick up the cheaper.
Okay.
I got a doctor's office who's down that's been through 3 different ones and he's now happy. I don't know which one it is. So I have another question then.
Okay.
What happens to the business?
That signed the contract with a Carter. She asked, Robin asked, what happens to the business that signed a, let's say, a year-long contract with, to get a good rate that it doesn't end till July or August, they're screwed.
Yeah.
But whatever Carter that is, I gave you that rate for a year contract. You still owe me. It's not like you're not, the city's not going to do anything about. Okay,
No. According to my talking points, I don't have any information on that, so I'm gonna go with no.
all right. Okay. And another question. So this is slide 5, safer, quieter streets. So Action Karting, who services already 2 or 3 houses down, at 4 a.m. every other day or whatever they pick up, waking out of bed if I hadn't had to get up to go wee wee or something. I did then. TMI, I know. So I don't see, there's nothing in there that you have to pick up in this law, or maybe there is, pick up during the day. So these guys are going to still pick up in the middle of the night.
Probably.
At least the regular sanitation doesn't usually pick up till about 7. By me. By me. By me.
We are 24/7, so I can't say when, I get my
Right.
collection at 6 a.m.
And you have no recourse to, I screamed at the guy next door and he got action to at least not honk, honk, honk in the whole thing at 4 a.m. He still picks up, but he's a little more gentle, but he's being a good neighbor to deal with his Carter to tone it down. Now that leverage is gone because he has no choice. But action I've seen in the neighborhood, I haven't seen the other ones that were mentioned as winning. I've never seen one of their trucks in this area, or maybe they are, but they're going to be.
Maybe Action is stay.
Well, action is one.
Yes, one
The
of them.
question is, slide 5, say quieter streets. And I'm going, yeah, no. And so as a talking point, that makes 0 sense.
Okay.
All right. Any other questions? Go ahead.
I have a question. So they submitted the RFP, they were approved. For how long they've been approved and how often they'll be, their services will be evaluated to see if they're not satisfactory to people, or based on what? Based on the input from the customer, or what will be the criteria for evaluation and pulling them out and maybe run another bid for other services?
So I don't have their end date, right? I'm not going to say forever, but they earned this contract to work with the city in these specific zones. So let's say at least till the end of 2027, because that's when we're going to be fully rolled out, and then we could fully evaluate how the program is going citywide, not just in the few districts and the zones that we've been doing. My team, we have the contracts team, will be working on that, and they'll be the ones helping to evaluate, taking any feedback they get from businesses, from you all. You live in the neighborhood. If you tell me Action is not doing the right thing, or they're really loud, or they're XYZ, you let me know, and then we pass it on, and the contracts team will work with those carters that receive those contracts. They are in constant oh my goodness, a lot of C's. Constant contact with those contractors and with those carters. So that you got to give us a little chance. You got to let us try first. Let us do it first. We didn't start right.
And then you ask for the chance. How long is the contract with the car?
Right, I don't know. I just said I don't know. It could be for 99 years. It could be for 10 years. I don't have that in front of me. That I was not told.
99 antitrust law, you can't do that, but I don't know. How you guys starting the program if you don't know nothing? You just
no, so
want to,
sir, I
do
just don't know the
something, but
answer
you
to
have
that
no
question.
answer
Please don't
for
say
us
we don't
today.
know nothing, because maybe I just don't have that answer, but there's a lot of other people that work for the Department of Sanitation. So that was a little rude. Please don't say that to me. A few of us know something. I'm so sorry I don't have that answer for you right now.
It's a very simple question. If you guys
But I
want
don't
to
have the
hire
answer.
somebody, or if you want to, guys, if you want to hire somebody for our money because it's our taxes, and you don't know anything in terms of that contract, you don't know terms of the contract, you don't know how they're going to be working, you don't know what's the criteria for evaluating, and now you're saying that it's rude for me to ask this question. I don't understand.
I didn't say it was
This is
rude
my
that you
money.
asked,
I pay
sir. I said it
taxes
was
for the
rude that
city.
you claimed that I don't know anything. I thought that was a little rude. That's all.
Okay, because I asked a question, you said you don't know. You don't know
No,
this, you don't
I
know
admit
that.
that
You
I don't know. I'm always admitting that I don't know the answer to that specific question. I just didn't like that you said I didn't know anything. I thought that was a little rude to me as a person, you know?
Okay, so now you're doing it personally. See, I was not meant to offend you personally. It's just because I'm a member of the community, and like I said, I'm a taxpayer. I expect that you guys gonna be giving me answers based on your presentation. You said you're gonna be a contract with some carters, and you don't know what's the terms of the contracts.
Okay.
How are you gonna be spending my taxpayers' money for this program, for implementation of your things?
How are we going to be spending your taxpayers' money? Is that what you're saying? By
Exactly.
working?
And his money, everybody's money here in this room. This is my money. This is my
Okay.
taxpayers' money. Have you ever thought about that one?
I don't think I fully understand what you mean. I know it's your taxpayers' money.
Really?
You are a citizen of New York City, but
Yes, I paid city
asking?
taxes and I'm a businessman. I paid my taxes as well as a businessman.
Okay.
And now you want to spend my money and you give me a program and saying that you're gonna put somebody for 99 years of the
Sir, I gave that
maybe.
as a fake example. You don't need to throw
Well,
that
but
back.
that's
in
what
my
I'm
face. This is
saying. You
99
have no
years an example
answer.
because I didn't know the
Okay,
answer.
he can give us the answer, okay, and we'll
Doesn't have nothing.
have it for the future.
That researches and looks into the carding companies. And I know this because we were dealing with a carding company recently that was not so nice. Let's put it that way. So there is somebody that's behind them, or basically making sure that they're doing the right thing.
Okay, so if you can email us the information about how long the terms are for these carding. And we can announce this at the next general board meeting.
Marisa, and also who the contact person or any hotline? It's just
They don't
continuation
either.
of my question. Anybody people will complain to. Sorry, but.
Go ahead.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Okay, did you hear Lolita's question? She wanted to know if there was any complaint hotline for them to know.
At the moment, I don't have that answer. I'll get back to
Okay.
you on that.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
Victoria?
Victoria?
This is ridiculous.
Okay. 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 All right, Vicky?
I have a question, how to comply. Five easy steps. So on page 5, slide number 10. Step 1, it says evaluate. So you can conduct a waste audit or request one from your partner or BIC licensed broker. So my question is, how much will be a waste audit cost? And what is the number for public to reach out and get educated on waste audit or need business?
So they can use the calculator that's on our website to figure out how much waste they have and then how much they think they should be paying. But if they need help using that or using that tool, they can reach out to my office, and then I'll make sure that they're connected with someone who can help them use that tool if that is
Yeah,
one of
because
their
it says
issues.
request one from your partner, so there is an option to request a waste audit. So I assume somebody will come and do the audit? How does
Right,
it work?
yeah. Right.
So where's the number business can reach and go to? Do you have one?
I don't have that because they're gonna get that when we go reach out to them one by one.
Would you be able to give us when you have one?
I'm
So
sorry,
we-
say it again. I couldn't hear you.
Would you give us a number when you have one?
When I
For,
have one, yeah.
For waste audit request?
That's all right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, there's some people
Anybody
on the
have a question?
Zoom.
don't
You can
see any
unmute
hands
yourself. I think, Charlene?
Did you have a question,
yes.
Charlene?
Yes, I do.
Go ahead.
My question is, I don't understand why they would bring this up at a meeting like this, and a lot of the questions that people are having, she's unable to answer. We need answers to questions and stuff because it's like he said, people are paying their taxes, and they may have a contract with somebody else already that's taking their garbage. Who's going to help them when the contractor say to them, you signed this contract with us for this amount of time, so therefore we're going to hold you to it.
Right.
We agree. But there seems to be, too bad. Seems to be.
No, it can't be too
With-
bad because people
I
don't have
agree.
money to just give up like that.
I agree. But the city council passed this law, and unless there's something in the law that somehow magically indemnifies businesses that already have a contract, this will be in court.
But
What's the
it's definitely going to end up in court. I can see people right now going down to City Hall with shirts on and stuff like we did with the casino and having protests.
Marissa,
I
can
was
I-
laughing, but it's not funny. It's going to happen.
Yeah.
Well,
Marissa, just for clarification again, because I think I asked you this, I just want to make sure you I heard what you said. So effective, when this is rolled out, carriers or carters who are not part of the program or not authorized, they can no longer pick up the garbage for their current customer, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
What about the private containers? If my business has a backyard and I use a private container, I ordered from a carting company and put my waste in that container. What's the story with that? Who's gonna be evaluating my business if I don't want to be evaluated because I'm using everything private?
Well, so when you say you're using it private, you're saying like, but a private carter is picking it up though, right? Not DSMY. I just want to make sure I understand your question. You're
Yes,
saying not DSMY.
yes.
Right. So if you have a different carter picking up, let's say a container, let's say a dumpster, then you could see, I'm hoping, the new carter, they would have the capability to still pick up that dumpster.
If I don't want to use anybody else, it's like you tell me to remarry
Oh
somebody
no,
else.
you can't do that. You can get a ticket for
So you
that.
say now you're gonna say who I have to marry, even I have a wife?
Right. Right. That's what this whole thing is about. Right.
Oh, so you acknowledge that. Okay, so nice. See you in court.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, anybody else on Zoom?
any other questions on Zoom?
Fanya?
I think Fanya's trying to.
Fanya, you have to unmute. You have to
Yeah.
unmute.
No,
Fanya.
this is Sheila. Can you hear me? Oh,
Oh, wait.
Oh.
Okay, Fanya
Hi.
first. Sorry, Sheila.
all right.
Thank you. Sorry, Sheila.
It's okay.
Melissa, hi. You gave this presentation. I have several questions. First questions is the other commercials, the other zones, are they assigned the same three carters or they're a different one?
They're different.
They're different one.
Yep.
And another thing, um, this is something that what I see is really very unfair to the business people. If you want business to stay in New York City, you don't penalize them. It's you just penalizing the. I know it's city council that passed this whatever it is, this law, um, this bill, this law, but you're gonna have a lot of problem with this. But I have another question for you while you're here. I understand that you're you're a representative of public relations, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so several questions. One, I live on Brighton Beach and I walk Brighton Beach Avenue every day, several times a day. Every time I see illegal dumpings on every corner, on every corner. I was told to call 311. I called 311, nothing happens. I talk to people who dump and they say, nothing is wrong. Where would we go? This is the place to put our garbage. I also saw some incident when carters, from what I understand, the people who are collecting garbage, they collect the garbage and then something was left on the curbside. They sweep it on a road where the cars are in. They don't collect this garbage. They just sweep it. If that's the instructions they receive, that they sweep everything on the road where the cars are going, where the traffic is. And the third question is, there are garbage bins. I remember you put out.
I don't think this is really her expertise on this. She's representing the commercial waste program. These are general sanitation questions.
She's she's a representative of public relations.
No.
Can she just
no,
tell me
no,
one
no.
last thing?
Okay,
I
and
can just call okay. I'll call the district about the improper disposal and the illegal dumping on Brighton Beach Avenue. What was your last point?
the last point, there are some there are a lot of, like, every two blocks there are garbage bins. I remember they were put out maybe 5 years ago. They were never washed. Is there any problem washing them?
Fania, I don't think
No.
this is going to be the sanitation. They're not going to wash garbage bins. You're welcome to wash your garbage bin in front of your house, but
Why
they
not?
don't.
I just came from Scandinavian country. They washed everything.
Yes, and when I grew up, the garbage cans were actually in the ground, and the garbage trucks that came by lifted them out and dumped them, as well as a lot of Scandinavian countries have that, where it's a giant garbage can underground, makes it much cleaner. But we don't have that. So I'm sorry, but you're not going to find a satisfactory answer. And it's not really sanitary for you to start cleaning the city garbage cans. It's kind of a dangerous thing.
So who is responsible for these garbage cans?
No one. It's not.
Can I ask just one follow-up question for 1 second?
Sure.
Fania, are these baskets, they're the wire mesh baskets or they're the gray baskets?
They're gray. They like open. They open.
Okay, so the gray baskets, our goal is to swap out all the wire mesh baskets with our better bins. But if you already have better bins, we're probably not going to clean them. But if it's damaged, or a lot of times they get set on fire in Manhattan, you can let Annie know. You can let the board know. You can let me know, and I'll see that we can get them swapped out.
Okay.
Won't clean it, but I'll swap it out.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, Sheila?
Sheila, you have to unmute. Sheila?
All right. Got it, you're on,
You're on.
but you have to unmute.
*6, I think.
No, she's on the phone and we're having her, ask her to unmute.
Yeah, we don't hear you, Sheila.
Did
Okay.
Did you
now
hear me
go.
now?
There we go.
Yes,
Now
we
we
hear
do.
you. Yes.
Go ahead, ask your question.
Okay. I don't have a question. I just have a comment, because I'm sitting back listening to a discussion, and this presentation seems to be more or less like, it's not you have 1, 2, 3 choices or else. And
Right.
nobody
That's exactly what it is.
likes to feel like you flushing. Let me finish. Nobody likes to feel like you flushing things down their throat and saying Brooklyn South is the first area that they're starting with. So I indeed feel for those businesses that have contracts and think that they know and they don't know because of language barriers or, or just because they're not connected with Community Board 13. And then they will be penalized because of this. So my thought is that it's not right the way it's being presented. Like, oh, we already did this and we already did that, but yet you don't really have the time limits and things, basic questions people need answers to. I think that's very unfair.
So we didn't tell any of the businesses yet in Brooklyn South. So of course they don't know yet. They're gonna know very soon. But no, of course we didn't tell them yet. And we have all our materials in multiple languages. We have outreach workers that speak multiple languages. We will have info sessions in multiple languages, phone calls in multiple languages. We didn't start yet at all in Brooklyn South. Nothing started.
Yeah.
But they're asking you questions now that you cannot answer. And I think that's wrong when we're talking about
That's her.
time limits and things of that, not anything that's friendly and things pushback. That's it.
Okay, I don't see anybody else on Zoom asking a question.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
Charlene,
I have a question.
Shawnee first.
Charlene,
Yeah,
you unmuted?
I wanted to know, why was not the businesses given the opportunity to voice their opinions as to what was going on? Is it
They
not
were.
fair that we have a democratic system where people have the opportunity to voice their opinions on things
They
prior
did.
to things being in effect?
No,
Yeah, they
she said
did.
no.
We had public hearings, and most of the time when the city council held a hearing about commercial waste zone, it's always open to businesses. So there have been multiple opportunities for businesses to voice their concerns or, whatever they want to say. They had multiple chances to do that. This law went into was enacted in 2019. It was passed, and since then we've had multiple public hearings and oversight hearings regarding commercial waste zones.
Okay.
One more question.
Okay, good.
Okay, one more question, just to make sure that we understand what the Department of Sanitation means the businesses, because I'm looking through the presentation, and at one page you're saying qualified properties, and another one is businesses. Does it mean that when you said the properties, meaning that the business, like a business enterprise, or the property in terms of the commercial properties or residential property, where the business is like a mixed use properties, what is all this law referred to?
Business enterprise.
Because let me say something,
okay.
just to clarify. Well, my understanding that any business in New York is basically registered with the state. So the city has nothing to do with the business. And if you go against a business, if you take some rights of the business, then you have a problem, because the business is the state. When you go against the property in the city, that's a little bit different. So the city has some, same mechanism how to impose something to the property in terms of taxes, in terms of your regulations. So now when you're talking about businesses, you're talking about the properties. What is the difference, or is the same thing as like you just using it in the handouts back and forth, same thing?
Whatever business entity currently receives private Carter collection service, that is who I'm talking about. Whoever doesn't receive DSMY service and runs a business, runs a commercial business.
So basically, is that right? So if, for example, I just give an example out of my head. If I purchase the property and I put it on my LLC, so technically it's the business. Do I have to register with that, or I don't have to register?
It depends on who currently collects your garbage. So if you have a property and you're not running a business out of it, yes, an LLC can own it, right? An LLC can own a building and have residential units in it. If you are running the building or the property as a business and there is a business associated with it, then yes, you will have to follow these guidelines, this law.
So now, next following question. If I open up the business and now I'm a new businessman and I didn't know about this law, because when I registered my corporation and want to and get some state license to run a business, I was not aware of this law. And should I register with you, or should I go to get an audit, or I just say, no, my business involve only 2 paperwork a month and I don't need no Carter services for my business? Who's going to determine my fines when you guys going to enforce it against me, these regulations?
So we have a full list now. Okay, if you're saying you started this business yesterday, then I don't know the answer. But if you are on, let me finish. If you are on a list, if you are a business already, no, I know you're just you're making fun of me the whole night. It's been fantastic.
It's a normal conversation. Come
I've
on,
enjoyed all of it actually. If you are a business and you're already on our list as a business, then yes, we will reach out to you and ask you what kind of business you have. There are businesses that do not generate a lot of garbage, and they work with other businesses to utilize one Carter. So it could be 3 different businesses using the same private Carter, because they don't generate. A jewelry store is not going to have the same amount of garbage as a restaurant. Yes, correct. So they either can get some sort of, they can either be a self-hauler and take their garbage themselves, which is still allowed, or they work with other businesses on the block and add their garbage to another business's garbage.
So you're saying we're still gonna have a choice whether we want to register with your services or we don't want to register? Because it sounds like it's the mandatory registration for the business.
No, every
Any
business
kind of
that
business.
receives private Carter collection must now choose one of the new 3, or if it's not new to you, but one of the 3 Carters that are in your zone, unless you have more than 10 plus cubic yards of waste, then you could choose from one of the 5 citywide Carters.
So, okay, these rules
So I don't want to
relates
say you're
only to the
registering with me.
businesses.
If you are a business, then we know about you, and then we're going to
No,
reach
that's what
out
I'm
to you and
saying.
tell you
So-
what you need to do.
So what you're saying, these new rules relates only to businesses that were previously registered for your service?
No, they don't receive any DSMY service. No business in New York City receives DSMY service. Unless you're a professional in an office inside a residential building.
I don't, now I understand, she just mentions that if you were not registered with us, then you
No,
can
no
do whatever
business
you
is
want.
registered with us. We don't collect from any business. We're only residential businesses, schools, nonprofit organizations, and some professional offices that are inside residential buildings. We've never picked up from a business, like a restaurant, right? Like Just Sugar over on Stillwell. We're not going to pick up from them. We're not going to pick up from Nathan's, but we'll pick up from
But
we'll pick up from Marlboro.
But our new law now mandate for any business first to register and then to try to be qualified for that small number of qualifying properties or businesses which are exempt, right? Because you still have an exemption. So
Right,
the
right. The
proper
only ones
procedure.
exempted are professional offices, though.
Well, no, but that's again, now. Maybe you have a hairdresser who's a professional office, but then somebody is not a professional office. They run some other businesses which does not generate any waste. We don't know because all the businesses right now, like computer businesses, this kind of businesses, you know, online.
Right, they
Many
still would need a
businesses
private carder.
don't generate. They don't generate the waste. But according to your presentation, at least that's what I'm feeling. Uh, you have to register first and then find the reason to be exempt. So you put so much burden right
Okay,
now.
I see your point now. I see your point. You're saying if you think you are one of those, if you think you fall under those exemptions, then yes, you do need to register with the Department of Sanitation. We will determine if we will pick up your garbage. If we will not,
Yeah,
then
but
you have to follow the new rules.
Exactly. But if I don't, you put a maximum rate on my
Sure.
back.
Yes. Sure.
And if I'm not gonna pay you, you're gonna put fines.
You never pay
And
me. You never pay
no,
DSNY.
no, of course
I
not
know, but
gonna
you're
pay
pointing
you.
at me. I'm DSNY. That's how I'm considering you. I'm sorry that you're pointing at me.
We already paid you too much. I mean, you don't even
I don't
understand
get
how
paid
much
anything. I
pay
get paid
every
very, very little,
month.
This
actually.
is the fourth time we've done the same thing.
Yeah,
Any
but-
other
but
questions on the,
She's on
from
salary.
here?
She's getting
Any other
salary.
questions? Anyone
I
else
have a
on
job.
Zoom?
Don't you have a job?
Okay, well, thank you for the presentation. You'll get back to us. You'll get back to Eddie when you have this number that the businesses can call. Hey, this is a problem. When they,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
So much.
I know.
Thank you. Thank you.
Any old unfinished business?
Oh, business?
Any new business? Motion to adjourn is therefore in order, seconded by, oh,
It's gonna be, obviously, the next meeting.
No,
full, and just information, there's nothing to vote.
nothing.
This will just be informational. It'll be summarized in the next, yeah, they'll.
And if people who miss it, they can always
They
view
can
this
always watch
on
it.
YouTube.
While it's still within that. thing limit that they give
Yes.
us.
Really?
No, wait,
Yeah,
they
yeah.
present more of the answer. Maybe they'll have more answers to the question.
Well,
They have answers.
yeah, they don't know yet. That's it. They don't know yet. All right.
Have
Well,
them
what we
reach
can
out
do is
there.
we can reach out and find out if they have a better, what do you call it, answer with it, and see what happens. Because the majority of the people right now can go to a bid. The bid will know the information about it. And the other one, the Alliance for Coney Island, deals with the amusement area and deals with Mermaid Avenue. So they can, reach out to them and see if they're comfortable with what's happening. Because remember, they don't know, the business don't know where to go to. And if they don't have a bid, then they're lost altogether. Especially like someone mentioned about language barrier, there is going to be definitely a language barrier, if not, for small businesses.
I did,
And operate for your house.
Uh,
This is
yeah,
not-
see
this
that?
doesn't apply here.
Yeah.
I just wanna make that clear, 'cause
Mhm.
I heard some of the questioning. Like, they're not gonna make you register if you're only given 2 papers.
It's
Like,
for
it's
now.
gonna be.
Sure.
No.
Try.
It's been-
You-
try to be-
That-
2000, they don't.
It's common there because I've, me
No, it's
personally,
not
I see the
Yeah.
attitude, I see their attitude and the way they present that. Listen, they made that law. They cannot build the boardwalk for 20 years. They made that law and assigned auditors for each district within half a year.
Well, the problem is they made the law in 2019 and they didn't roll it out to us.
Right.
If you wanna have a problem, that's the problem.
Yeah.
Not this. The problem is that this was a law in 2019 and will only be presented 2 months before it goes into effect in this area. So if you wanna have a problem, that's the right problem. The
Yes.
fact that the presenter who's doing the presentation not have
Yeah.
answers,
Oh, of course.
how many times do we have presenters that don't have all the answers?
Yeah.
She's just the
Sure.
messenger. We
Yeah.
can't sugarcoat it.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Mhm. Yeah. Mhm. Yeah. Huh. Yeah.
They not.
Same person that picked up your garbage
Mhm.
has a new sticker on the side of his truck, don't be surprised.
Yeah.
Because that's how it works in this.
Because they're gonna have to join together.
Yeah.
But there is a lot of laws that were actually put pending based on the public comment. And I think the best way to approach it is just to reach out to your city councilor or whatever and just ask them to revote it until this process is
Already voted
straightforward.
into
Because some people have already budgeted things
Oh,
for the
yeah.
next year. So it's totally unfair to present people with different rates because they will not be fitting their budget because in 2 months.
Yeah.
The other side of that too is that we have to show up, because those
Yeah.
meetings that.
And nobody showed up.
The business, yeah, the business, sure.
Show up to the meeting, so
Gotta show up, yeah.
That's it.
go to the meeting.
It's gonna be the same thing like they happen with the utility company. Just the
Yeah.
utility company, they give them a green light and then everybody starts selling the broker services. Companies start doing, so these guys are gonna be doing the same, so it's gonna be five or whatever, 10 companies for the
Yep,
city,
that's it.
and it's gonna be 100,000 of brokers who's gonna be selling the service for the businesses. The minimum rate, they're doing the same thing.
Apologize, you were supposed to adjourn.